Welcome back, all of you Ugnaughts and Jawas, and thank you for checking us out for another week here at Mando Talk, where we discuss everything going on in Star Wars. But right now, we're primetime, mid-season, talking about The Mandalorian. So we're here tonight to talk about Chapter 10, The Passenger. My name's Caleb Keller, and joined alongside me, as always, is Nolan Ferris. What's up?
What's up, everybody? Hope everybody is enjoying Season 2 of The Mandalorian. I know we are. And tonight we're going to dive into Chapter 10.
Chapter 10, baby.
Yeah.
Now with us, again, coming back after last week's premiere episode, we also have Brandon Anderson.
What's up? Had to come back after that, Chapter 9.
Chapter
so
9
good.
was pretty freaking good,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
All right, Jacob, what's up, man?
Not much, man.
Jacob Keller's in the house.
How about that lit intro?
How about that lit intro, man? Great Mando music. Now,
Yeah.
before we even get going, BA, I talked to you about how there was something I wanted to say on the podcast just for fun.
Yeah.
Those of you following along with the NFL season, Titans
Not
play the
me.
Bears this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
The Titans are my team. The Bears are your team. So I wanted to say this on air here, and I'll let you agree or not. If the Titans win next week's podcast episode, you have to wear a Titans piece of clothing, hat, I don't know, something that I have. I'll give it to you. If the Bears win, vice versa.
Okay, I'm down with that.
All right, let's do it. So next week,
That's easy, though.
we're going to
Like-
have some trash talk. So real quickly, Titans are going to crush them.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. I'm even wearing the shirt, but we know for a fact that we know who's going to win.
Nick Foles, I don't know, man. I mean,
I think he's hurt.
Nick Foles is hurt
I
too?
think so. And Trubisky's hurt.
I know
And then-
Trubisky's hurt.
His backup's hurt. So if
Yeah.
Foles can't play, we're going to start a receiver at quarterback.
All right, yeah, I mean, fair enough, fair enough. Okay, guys, we're here to talk Star Wars. I just real quickly wanted to get that bet on air, have some fun here at the beginning. Nolan doesn't care. He's like, whatever, let's get into this.
I will say one thing. These hats are awesome. They're
Yeah, they are.
awesome. So there's that.
We'll be wearing the hats next week regardless. Anyway, let's get to this. We got a lot of things to talk about with Chapter 10. I will say this, though, real quickly. We got one news piece to hit before we get going, and it's pretty legit. So let's kind of dive into that before we talk about the actual chapter.
Yeah, right on.
Deadline, which is a pretty legitimate news source, is reporting that a Boba Fett spinoff series is 1 week away from filming. Questionable for me. I don't know how I feel about this. It's really random for me. It just popped up out of nowhere. I don't know how y'all possibly feel about it. I mean, last week we obviously got the return of Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I saw this today on social media and was very surprised. I don't 100% believe it.
Yeah, I'm kind of the
just
same
because we've heard a lot of rumors that haven't been true, but this is the first time we're hearing about it, and it's supposed to be filming next week.
boat. Right.
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah. Now
you guys got to make these rumors a little bit more believable for me.
Well, and then Deadline also, I think, in that report say that the Mandalorian season 3 shoots the next week. So there's going to be crossover and shooting, which to me then questions like, well, couldn't Boba Fett be on the set of season 3 of The Mandalorian? Like, wouldn't that make more sense? And,
Yeah.
and they say spin-off in the report. So is it a spin-off of The Mandalorian, or is it a spin-off of the original trilogy? Like, what time frame are we dealing with?
Okay, so let me ask you this: do you think it's just going to be like a, maybe like an hour and a half special? Or do you think it's going to be like a another mini series, like maybe 3 episodes,
I think that
like
it
they
would,
did with the last 3 episodes of the
from
Clone Wars?
from what we know so far from just this one rumor report, on the surface, I think it would make sense for it to be kind of like a Kenobi thing where they're only making it like 6 episodes max
Okay.
and not
Yeah.
going beyond that.
Yeah.
That way it's like background to how did Boba Fett get there in season 2 of The Mandalorian. If they're not going to do it in The Mandalorian, they got to do it somewhere. So that might be the
Right,
avenue
right.
that they do that. B.A., Jacob, y'all's kind of initial takeaways.
I tend to lean toward that idea that it's going to just show how he got out of the pit, maybe how he lost his armor,
Yeah.
and just some of those things. And it may, he may come back into season 2, but then he goes back and then we follow that path a little bit in the series, and then it comes back and
Right.
So you think it's
Maybe-
going to be post
Return of
episode 6?
I think so.
I think it would if they were to do it, if it's true.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they got the
If
actor
it's
for
true,
it,
yeah.
for Tamara Morrison. I mean, he's got that part perfectly lined up with after Return of the Jedi.
I'm not sure how I feel about that timeline, and it probably is going to be that. But just throwing this out there, what if we're done with Boba Fett in season 2, like in the next few episodes, or say we don't get closure?
Yeah.
Say that's left open, but they do this spin-off series, and all we see from the Mandalorian is what we saw in Chapter 9. And then they spin off of that.
See, I think that would be a mistake, personally. I feel like with the Mandalorian, with them introducing Boba Fett in Chapter 9, like that got so many people
Oh, yeah.
that weren't necessarily possibly not on board at this moment. I don't know why you wouldn't be, but if you weren't on board and you saw Boba Fett, I think that would make you get on board to invest and want to see more.
Yeah.
And I feel like it'd be a mistake to release a Boba Fett series while the Mandalorian is still going on, because then that takes away mystery for the Mandalorian.
Yeah, and
Like,
it
I feel
takes
like
away
that's
views
gonna get-
from the Mandalorian.
Right.
I feel
and-
like that's going to get swept under the rug like kind of Solo did.
Yeah. Okay. Jacob, what are your kind of thoughts? I know we've been kind of going, but what do you think about it?
My thoughts are that, I'm hoping that we see more of Boba Fett in season 2.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Let's just say I'm pretty sure that we will, and that's my hope.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think this might just be a rumor, just because, usually we hear about directors and writers
Right.
before a show
Start shooting.
just starts
Right.
shooting.
Yeah,
you
that's a
know?
pretty big jump. And I think it's just more likely that Boba Fett was spotted on set for season 3
Yeah.
of The Mandalorian. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
And honestly, to be fair, I did not fully read the article, so maybe there's something in there that I'm missing. I'm just spitballing based off the headline. Who knows? We'll see.
Well, if there's two things that Star Wars always has, it's super critical fans and conspiracy theories.
True.
So
So-
now that we've seen Chapter 10,
Yes.
and we know that we are not on Tatooine anymore,
Yeah.
when are we going to see Boba Fett again if it is in season 2?
Yeah,
Jacob,
so let's go
I don't
ahead and
know.
address that elephant in the room.
go ahead,
Jacob.
Jacob.
I have no idea.
Do you think we'll go back to Tatooine this season?
Based off of what I remember from the trailer, it doesn't look like it.
Ooh, that's true. I feel like we have seen all of our Tatooine shots. So does
So-
Boba Fett track him?
No.
He could.
No.
Because he possibly could still have Slave 1, the ship.
Yeah. Possibly.
Do you think it takes a season 1 turn and he's recruiting help and he goes back and picks up Cobb Vanth?
Okay, yeah, so Cobb Vanth did say, I hope to see you again. It's one of those moments where it's like, you're going to see him again.
Leaves the door open.
We'll
you
see
know.
him eventually. But in this season, who knows? I don't know.
I just feel like it would be
A
a
lot
huge,
of things are in the air.
I know.
like you said, I think it would be a huge mistake for them to put Boba Fett in that one scene at the end of one episode
Hmm.
in this one season.
And then them say, well, you got to watch another show
Yeah.
to figure out why he's standing there.
yeah.
Yeah.
But now we got
And
to watch
he
another
wants
one.
that armor back.
Oh, yeah. No doubt. I mean, that's Boba Fett's armor.
Mhm.
Listen, so let's go ahead. Are y'all ready to go ahead and get into Chapter 10? Because based on this, I'm ready to do it.
Well, let me say one thing.
Sure.
I saw this meme earlier this week that said Pedro Pascal is out with an injury because he's carrying the entire Star Wars franchise on his back.
I would agree to that yeah.
Oof.
Right now, I guess. Currently.
I just thought it was funny when I saw it.
BA, you got any Last Jedi hate to throw out there while we're kind of bashing?
Nah.
I think as of now, yes. But when Kenobi comes out,
Ewan McGregor, baby.
Ewan McGregor.
No,
And supposed to be Christian.
Hayden Christensen
Hayden
coming
Christensen.
back. Yeah, hopefully. We'll see.
Really?
My rebuttal
the-
to Mando carrying
Uh-huh.
or Pedro Pascal carrying.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that frog lady? She might be carrying. The reactions in the room were pretty
Dude,
pretty
frog
positive
lady.
for frog lady.
So
Yeah.
let's get into Chapter 10 then. Chapter 10, that's why we're here. Chapter 10, The Passenger. I was disappointed that we didn't see Boba Fett, so let
Yeah.
me just get that out in the open right now. And I know I was reading through Twitter just like real quickly to kind of get feedback from just general Twitterverse people out there.
Mm-hmm.
People are, it is dangerous. You're going to see the negatives. The
Yeah.
negatives out there are that this is a filler episode, that there wasn't really anything
I don't think it was.
that advanced the story, and I 100% agree with Nolan's take, so why don't you bounce off of that?
I don't think it was because it ties into the connections made in season 1. We finally get a little bit more reason for what used to be for me kind of pointless episode of the prison episode in season 1.
Yeah.
Chapter 6, yeah.
That's how he escapes with his life in this episode.
True.
So I'm a big fan of that. We get a little bit more detail on, the prisoner that he helped escape. Was it Quinn?
Yeah, Quinn, Ken, however you say it correctly.
And then Davin, which is
Lieutenant
Anakin's
Davin.
Lieutenant Davin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it all ties in together right there.
Yeah, that was cool.
I think the space spiders kind of reminded me of Harry Potter.
Yes,
Do you
they
guys
did.
remember that?
Yeah.
Where they were like, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what that reminded me of, and I didn't really dig that part.
Okay.
But as far as everything else, I really enjoyed this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I actually kind of enjoyed the spider part the most. And I agree. Like, when I first saw it, I was like, Harry Potter, man. This is,
Yeah.
like, it reminds me of it. But then again, like, it was super cool for me because it was different. And that's what I want out of The Mandalorian. I want it to
Yeah.
be different.
Yeah.
Would I have ever imagined in my dreams that I would see a frog lady in Star Wars and then a mass amount of spiders?
Ice
Absolutely
spiders.
not.
Yeah.
So
no.
another thing, real quick, that it reminded, or that I took away from this episode, and then you guys can jump in.
Yeah.
But the relationship between the child and the Den kind of
100%.
grew
Oh yeah.
through this
Yes.
episode quite a bit, and opened it up where it looked like Baby Yoda was trying to talk in some points.
Yeah.
A little bit of jibber
Uh-huh.
jabber right there.
That's
I was
kind
like,
of the first place that we see that.
yeah, and they're trying to communicate with each other, which is growth.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to get into that a little bit more as the season
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
moves on.
Agreed.
What do you guys think?
Initial takes
I mean,
before we dig.
You saw how the child would like run to Den whenever the situation is rough,
Yeah, and then
And-
lays on him. To,
Yeah.
for comfort.
Cuddles.
Yeah.
and
Gets his
then
cuddles in.
and then you can see Den being protective, like he's his son or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he gives away his jetpack with all intentions of giving it back, getting it back.
Yeah,
But at the same time, you see that vulnerability with him because that's the first time, really he's been put in that spot in season 2.
Mm-hmm.
And so we see
Yeah.
that development of that's his kryptonite,
Right.
So it's
mm-hmm.
since he's been given this task, it's pretty crazy.
I agree. Now, we can go ahead and dive into kind of my points that we have, and we'll continue to flesh out kind of the things that we need to say along the way. BA, before we dig into that, any just initial takes on that chapter itself?
I was just going to say we get to see Mando's intelligent in like a different way because ultimately he has this goal to deliver Baby Yoda back to his people, but we still get to see his street smarts taking care of anything that steps in the way, and we get
Yeah.
to see that relationship like you guys have talked about, the father-son, but he's determined, and I think he said it multiple times, different quotes, like wherever he goes, I go, and all that
Right.
stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
we get to see his intelligence used smartly to protect the child, but also I know it's like first scene he gets his jetpack back. So.
And to bounce off of that, he knows a lot of languages,
Oh, I know.
but he
not
doesn't
but
know
he doesn't-
frog.
yeah.
So-
Yeah,
Neither do I.
but I thought that was cool. I picked up on that. He knows Huttese. In the last episode, he knew Tuscanese or whatever.
Yeah,
So that's interesting.
right. Okay, let's do it then.
Let's get into
let's
it.
dig. We've given our initial takes, each of us. Let's dig and see if we can dig out any more. Again, here at Mando Talk, we speculate like crazy and we dive into things too much. So
Yep.
I've broken
Yep,
this
that's
into
us.
phases just like we did last week. We've got the opener that we'll talk about real quickly. Now, we started off really strong for me because we open up right there on Tatooine. So me immediately, I'm thinking, all right, we're getting our Boba Fett answers. We're still here. All right, I'm safe. But we see Mando racing across the desert. Beautiful shot, beautiful scene.
Yeah.
Baby Yoda's ears flapping in the wind again, perfectly executed. And here's my question. I mean, we see that Mando is ambushed, I guess you would say. They know and they reference him as the child. Are these people, and they're a mixture of races, and I'm not familiar with what their species are and everything, at least not off the top of my head. Are these guild members? Or are they just people that see the value in the child from afar, and they're just like, all right, let's execute on this?
I feel like it's that last because, I feel like if they were bounty hunters, well, first, the bounty got called off by the guild.
Right.
Then, I feel like they would be out there with sniper rifles if they were.
So
I can see what you're saying.
to go off of that, yes, the guild is not hunting the child anymore, but there are bounty hunters that aren't in the guild.
Correct. Yeah.
Independent contractors, the ones that work for the Empire mostly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like Boba Fett was.
Right.
So, I don't know. They might be bounty hunters,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think, I'm like you, Jacob, I don't think they're in the guild.
Okay. Fair. I mean,
But they acted and were like bounty hunters, and they were definitely after the
Right.
child.
any possibility that maybe they're bounty hunters working for Boba Fett? I mean, I'm just trying to throw in Boba Fett connections here.
Ooh. I did not even think about
I mean,
that.
Boba Fett saw him from afar, and when Boba Fett saw him, was it going into evening? And that means by the time we see Mando here, it's the morning time, so Boba's had a chance to tell his bounty hunters to, hey, go chase down that speeder. I want that armor back. I mean, I don't know. What do you think, B.A.?
Oh, I don't know. I tend to think that these are just like bounty hunters because the thing that sort of debunks mine though is that they do call the child out, but like sees the child.
Yeah.
But I think that was a Jawa, right? That he hands the jetpack to.
No, it
No.
wasn't a Jawa. It
No.
does
Okay.
sound very similar.
That's what I thought it was because he was talking about there's a lot of value in these parts that were part of the speeder,
True.
and
yeah.
then he accepted the jetpack trade a little too soon for like their primary target to be. It may be that he feared for his life and was just like, I'll take what
Yeah.
I can and get out of here.
That's
but
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I feel like they were just, thieves. Like.
Just randos.
Like highwaymen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Highwaymen. Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely possible for us to have rando bounty hunters just wanting to do whatever they want to do. I mean, not everything has to connect to something
And
or
they could
somebody.
have, they could have just been like raiders or
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
just kind of like a gang.
right.
Just wanted to kill somebody and take their goods.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, like BA said, they were after the child.
Correct. So, yeah, that kind of debunks my Boba Fett wanting his armor back theory, too, then, if they're
Yeah.
just looking for the child.
And that kind of debunks our raider theory. Like, why would raiders be specifically after the child? They don't know what it is.
Maybe they could already tell right away that Mando, that was his weakness. I don't know.
Who knows? And, again, they
I
might
don't
just
know.
see it as an opportunity to take down a Mando and
Yeah.
hurt his pride, which obviously everyone's acting like they never see Mandalorian, so who knows? But overall, and I know we did this last week, and we'll just do it with this one compared to last week. Was this opener, how would you compare it to last week's? We loved last week's opener. We loved the action. I was emotionally kind of hurt when I saw the child rolling on the ground
Yeah.
when that speeder kind of, crashed.
So I don't think it was as good as last week.
Agreed. It was just,
Well, and because not saying anything about the director or anything, but the director for last week, was it Jon Favreau?
Jon Favreau directed last week's episode.
Yeah, but what was the guy that did all the action moves and stuff?
I don't remember his name.
Well, anyways, that guy did like the fight scenes for which movie?
Extraction,
Yeah.
Netflix.
So
well,
yeah,
he directed that movie.
right. So that first fight sequence, whatever, with the
Yeah.
whistling birds and
It's hard to beat.
it's hard to beat.
Hard to beat.
I mean, you get some hardcore men, and Mando kind of got whooped there for a little while.
Yeah. Now, granted, it was 4-3,
But I like those odds.
Yeah, I like those odds.
Yeah.
And again, though, I will say this before we leave away from the opener. I don't know why I got Iron Man vibes whenever he did the whole
The
jetpack
jetpack thing.
sequence, and he was
Okay.
able to call it back down to him, just like Iron Man's able to do with his suit anywhere that he is.
Yeah, his
Super
suit,
cool.
his like little arm piece or whatever gauntlet must have some serious Bluetooth connectivity. Like
Absolutely.
for real.
Jarvis is working good there.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so his speeder crashes and we're on to the next sequence. We're out of the opener. It's revealed that this one's called The Passenger, and we get back to...
And he treks through the entire desert in that armor.
That'd be tough.
With all of that cargo.
This is the way.
This is the way. We get back to Pelimoto, and she's playing a game that we've seen before, Sabak.
Mm-hmm.
Now, interesting character, species that she's playing that with. Do y'all remember the name? It popped up in the subtitles.
Dr. Mandible? Was his
Dr.
name?
Mandible. Interesting. I mean, again, just one of those things I never thought.
Do you think he's like a
we'd see.
PhD doctor or like a doctor of medicine? What do you think?
I'm thinking like a doctor of medicine. That's
Okay.
what he looked like to me because he's got so many arms.
No, you pointed it out too because we were talking about the large amounts of insects in this episode.
Yeah.
And it was the
Correct.
director of Ant-Man.
Right, so Peyton Reed, the director of this episode, has directed Ant-Man and also Ant-Man and the Wasp. And he's set to direct Ant-Man 3.
So he's a big ant guy. And
He's a big insect.
You can
dude,
see
man.
it.
Space bugs.
Okay, so Mando meets up with Pelimoto, and she gives him kind of the next mission, what this goal is going to be. So she's got a contact that apparently has seen Mandalorians, and that contact happens to be the husband of Lady Frog.
Frog Lady.
Frog Lady.
Yep.
Is it Lady Frog or Frog Lady?
Both.
Doesn't matter. Okay.
No, it doesn't matter.
Now, their mission is to go to Trask, and let's just go ahead and talk about this. I think personally that the place that we've been saying that is Mon Cala might actually end up being Trask.
Yeah, I agree
So
with
I think
that.
we might, again, our perfect record might be in jeopardy, boys.
Yeah.
I didn't make that call.
Fair enough, but still, we are Mando talk here.
Mando Talk made the call.
And I think that the water planet that we're going to end up going to, or I guess moon, is in fact Trask, because the eggs in the water, in the tube, or whatever you want to call that, and also whenever Lady Frog is taking a bath later with the water, it just makes me feel like that's the place that the husband has found that would make the most sense for her offspring to thrive.
You know what the little incubator thing looks like to me?
What's that?
Looks like the Chug Jug off Fortnite.
I can see it.
Does it not?
I can see it. It's been
Yeah.
a while since I've played Fortnite.
Yeah, it's been a long
I mean,
while.
almost like 2 years now? When did that game even come out, man?
Oh, it came out a long time ago.
It's been
Yeah.
a few years.
It's been a few years, it
Yeah.
feels like.
I was going to say, and you guys may not know this reference, it looks like the backpack with the newborn from the game Death Stranding. Never played it, but I saw like the previews and stuff. You know what I'm talking about? Norman Reedus was like the face mapping that they used.
I think I know what game you're talking about, because when I saw like the trailer or whatever for it, and I saw like that
the trailer is
backpack
so
thingy,
weird. It's just the
it was
backpack
weird.
stuck out. Yeah,
It was weird.
that's what it reminded me.
I can
of.
see that. I expect some huge merchandising opportunity with that egg and Baby Yoda. Kind of like
Yeah.
how we have a bobblehead of the child eating a frog or drinking a cup. Like
Yeah.
those are
Yeah.
options from season 1.
Yeah.
This will be an option for season 2.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just money make.
Yeah, with a little tadpole egg.
Yeah. And
Do you think they'll sell one of him eating the spider? Because he eats one of those.
possibly.
And that's a little. Ugh.
Possibly.
They could sell anything.
with
True.
the child on it.
Yep.
Now they're off. They're taking their journey. Everything's going great. Mando and the child are getting to take a nice little nap. The child's got a nice little hammock in
No
there.
light speed. Forgot to bring that up. That's
Right.
kind of
Yeah,
big.
they can't go into hyperdrive because it'll, I guess, kill the eggs. Was
I think
that
that's
the
what it
deal?
said.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so that prevents Mando from able to get to Trask really quickly, which causes the kind of big issue that causes all the havoc to eventually occur. The New Republic arrives. Now,
Yep.
I thought that it was super cool, these two X-Wings being involved. I was just hoping for a possible team-up when I saw it in the trailer, and I know that's not what we end up getting, but regardless, it's cool to see the New Republic actually governing and kind of doing some things throughout the galaxy.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing we thought we were going to see in the sequels, never really got politics or anything like that in the
Aside
sequels.
from the prison barge.
Right. So I
Yeah.
think that this show would be a great opportunity to explore that. Now,
Yeah.
one of the X-Wing pilots again, Mr. Dave Filoni. Thank you. I was waiting for you to do that laugh, man. What y'all think of the whole New Republic getting involved? The sequence, it was kind of, for me, it was kind of like humorish. I don't know, like,
A
what
little
y'all
bit.
think? Because I didn't really feel like dire stakes involved in that
Yeah.
situation
Until
he broke free.
Yeah, yeah,
until
yeah.
he started trying to chase away.
I liked it. I liked it a lot. I mean, it kind of gave you a glimpse into the way that the New Republic patrols space and
Yeah.
kind of controls the way that things move on the, I guess, like space travel lanes.
Mhm.
And they also mentioned that they're looking for an Empire hideout, I guess.
Yeah, they were looking for Imperial information,
Yeah.
intel, whatever
Yeah.
they could find, I reckon.
So yeah, I thought that was great, and it was also great because they're kind of like laid back. They're like cool dudes, and they're just flying
Yeah.
their X-wings through space. Like,
Like, come on, bro. Don't run away, man.
yeah,
It's the end of their shift, and they just had a traffic stop. They're like, dude, don't do this. Come on.
Right.
yeah.
But I did think so. There's things in Star Wars that are like iconic, and I
Yeah.
thought it was cool. You know, like Mando's having a back and forth with him, and then it pans over and it shows their wings open up, and at that point I was like, there's about to be a chase, and
That
they're
was
just getting
cool.
ready for
Mhm.
it. So
That was cool.
that was a cool sight.
Now, what was the reasoning for them pulling him over in our terms?
He didn't have a
he was just flying like a ghost. He didn't have
They-
any like.
yeah, he didn't have his transponder on, which I guess sends
Okay.
out a signal that you're there.
Gotcha. Okay, so again, yeah, he's just trying to fly under the radar.
Fly, yeah, black.
Yeah. Now, that it causes him to break free whenever they ask him about something
They
in
pull
particular.
up his
Ping.
record,
They ask him to ping. and
Ping
he
him.
won't do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
and I guess they pick up the ping, and then
Mhm.
that brings up the record of
Gotcha.
the ship, and then they see he was on that prison barge,
Yes.
and then they're like,
Yes.
"Where are you on? What was his name? Bothan 6, something like
You're
that."
close.
Yeah,
You're close to it because that strikes a bell.
yeah,
And then that causes him to break free and to split. And that takes us to the planet that, again, we thought, and I don't think this was a prediction. I don't think this hurts our record.
We saw like one scene, like one half of a scene from the trailer, and we
Right.
guessed. So
We thought that it could be Ilum, correct?
mhm.
yeah.
Which is a planet we see in
Fallen Order
Jedi
and
Fallen Order.
it's rumored to be the Starkiller base.
in Force
I'm
Awakens.
pretty sure
Right.
that's confirmed.
I think that part of is confirmed.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for some reason, we thought that this planet could be Ilum. I mean, we're not given anything that says it's not necessarily.
This is true.
Yeah.
But regardless, he ends up crash landing, and it gets real bad. Like,
Oh,
quick.
yeah.
Very quick with space spiders.
Space
Mhm.
spiders. Now,
But there's a hot spring though, so
Yeah.
if it was like a a B&B, it'd be like 2 stars. It's a hot
Yeah.
spring, but there's
Yeah.
also spiders.
Be like Motel 6.
Yeah.
right.
So what this made me think of was, just imagine you're in your car. It's the dead of winter. You're in the middle of nowhere. You don't have a cell phone, and you break down. You crash.
Why does this sound like something that would happen to you, man?
It does sound exactly like something.
Like
that
it
would
happened to me
happen
last week.
It did happen to him last week
Yes,
almost,
it
so
did.
we're glad
Kind
you're
of,
safe.
sort of. I wasn't like in the middle of nowhere with no, phone.
No, but you just crashed into
I
a
slid
farmer's-
into a ditch. Yeah.
PC finna die.
Yeah, man. I
But-
could tell some stories about Jacob real quick, but we're just gonna focus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we gotta stick to the basics.
So just imagine that it's a bad situation.
Yeah, it is.
And it's like
Cold.
I don't know, probably like worse than Alaska cold
Oh,
because the
definitely.
entire planet is ice.
Yeah, and can we talk about how awesome it looks? Mando's helmet being like frozen over
Yeah,
slowly.
It does.
That's such a cool visual. I love the way that looked. Now, one thing that I thought was really interesting, first thing that we see in this chapter when they're doing the recap, we see that droid Zero.
Oh,
and we
yeah,
had
yeah.
no clue. Like, that was so random.
Yeah.
But then we get, like, that connection, like, okay, we get why he was in the recap now, because Lady Frog uses her brain. Like, that was brilliant idea to, I guess, break into Zero's translator, whatever it's called. I don't know. They say it in the episode. But that's how Lady Frog ends up communicating with Mando and motivates him to, like, all right, get up and
keep to your word. You're a Mandalorian.
Come on, brah.
Yeah, she kind of guilt trips him into it. Like, I thought you guys were better than this. Maybe it was just a story.
Right.
And his pride is like, here we go again.
Yep.
And so Mando starts getting to work, working on the ship, and Lady Frog sneaks off to that little bath, which I don't know, I just thought that scene was weird. Again, it's one of those things I don't expect in Star Wars. A naked frog taking a bath with some eggs.
Yeah, if you would have told me that's what we were going to see last week for Chapter 10, I'd have been like, so a naked frog, huh? Aren't all frogs naked? And, like, it would have been a big deal.
Yeah, so I made the comment while we were watching it. Jon Favreau says he wants this to be like Game of Thrones. We got our nudity. It's right there.
Yeah. Big baths, spiders, space spiders.
It does remind me of a scene that Jon Snow and anyway. I mean, I could get into
anyway,
it again, but
no,
we'll
we don't
move
need to.
on.
We don't need to.
Okay. And again, at this bath, chaos ensues.
Yeah. All right, so
Spiders.
those eggs, all those eggs, the spider eggs.
Yeah.
Have y'all seen the movie Alien
No.
or Prometheus?
No.
Okay, well, it reminds me of that.
Okay.
There's just like thousands of eggs, and
Yeah.
you know they pop open, and they have the face huggers, and they get in your body.
Face huggers.
That's from the movie Alien, and it's a pretty creepy show.
Yeah.
Pretty creepy movie.
Now, what'd y'all think of that big spider once it arrived?
I was like, crap.
BA, don't you love spiders?
I do not. Not even a little bit.
He doesn't
He
even.
said,
He
"I
doesn't
do
even want
not."
to be here, man.
I do not.
Once I saw the egg, like when he cracked open the eggs, I was like, this is going to be bad. Like, I kind of had a feeling that
yeah.
spiders. Because, I mean, you go from dragons. What
He
else
said,
are you going to go
I got
to?
a bad feeling about this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Did they say that in season 1? I've got a bad feeling about this. And that's so hard for us to pull off the top of our heads.
Yeah, let me just think about that one.
Okay, let us know if you're watching on YouTube, if you remember I've got a bad feeling about this in season 1. Comment below. Tell us when it was, and we'll check it out.
I want to say it was when they were flying into the space prison.
I think Mayfield might have said something. Might have said it.
Yeah.
Now that you're saying that, man, Mando talk delivers yet again. I hope
Possibly.
that's right.
Yeah, possibly.
So, with BA's fears here, green guts going everywhere whenever Mando is blasting those spiders. Then Mando finally gets into the Razor Crest, and all those spiders start, just climbing up, building up like a mountain. And he finally uses shooting webs. Are we grossing you out any, or are you just
we're
like...
we're good. It's got to happen. So
He said, we're beyond grossed out. Just get it over with.
Oh, hey, y'all thought that it was cool that he was
yes.
trying to warm up his flamethrower. and
Yeah.
you could see the flame building up slowly.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
Small details like that, just like,
Oh, yeah.
that's awesome. And he finally uses his brain by burning all of them, or as many as he can.
Yep.
And Lady Frog saves the child. Let's not forget about that moment. I feel like that was a pretty solid moment. That indicates to Mando, like, all right, I can trust her. Because, again, that's Mando's main mission, is to make sure that this kid is safe. And then the big spider, as they're trying to escape, crashes down on them. And then somehow,
Oh my gosh.
again...
Y'all, the mouth, though. The mouth of that thing.
Dude, did you hear the scraping noise of the teeth on
Yeah.
the glass? That made me cringe,
Yeah.
honestly. But yeah,
It's just like rows of...
yeah, that's kind of gross. Kind of gross. The New Republic saves the day, though. Those two pilots come back, Dave Filoni, and I don't know who the other guy is, but they kill the remaining spiders. They kill the big spider, and that gives Mando enough time to escape. And that's where we get all of that information, the connections back to Chapter 6, The Prisoner. I think it was called The Prisoner, where it talks about the arrest warrants. It talks about him putting those 3 in prison and protecting that Lieutenant Davin on that transporter or prison. Really cool connection.
Yeah.
It makes that what we initially thought last year as a filler episode no longer seem like a filler episode.
Yeah,
And that's what I feel
exactly.
like is going to happen with this one. So people out there that think this is a filler episode, I mean, I can't sit here and say like I don't see where you're coming from, but I don't think that this episode is that. I think
Yeah.
first of all, again, we get heavy Mando and child details here where it's father-son relationship fully. Great moments between
They're
those
starting
two.
to communicate with each other. That's, I
Correct.
think, very, very important.
Oh, yeah.
And I
moving
think that's
forward.
probably the biggest thing to take away from this episode. And obviously, we're now on our way to what we can assume Trask, and hopefully we get there next episode.
Limping through space, just like we saw in the trailer at the very beginning of the trailer.
Right.
What language do you think Den is going to teach the child? Huttese?
I think multiple.
As many, I guess, as possible.
C.
When the child speaks English, though, I wonder if it's gonna be like Yoda. Yeah.
Even if it's not initially, they'll make that callback eventually. Like, they'll make that connection, I think.
Yeah.
Even if it's not how Baby Yoda talks throughout his time on the show, he'll at least do it once so people are like, ha, I got
But
it.
what if that's just the way that his species talks?
Yeah, no, I think that would be cool too.
Like
I'm here for it.
a Gungan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real quickly, because now I know we finished the episode. We've ran through all of my notes that
Well,
I have.
I just want to say that I thought it was really cool that, when the pilots are saying basically, we're going to let you go because you showed that you had a good conscience during all of this.
Yeah.
And Den was like, well, how about you help me fix the hull of my ship? And they're just like, nope. See you later.
Yeah.
Be like, how about you just get that ship running?
Yeah, they're just like, how about you get that transponder running
Like
and
us,
roll out?
us allowing you to be free still is enough, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they were like, dude, do you realize how cold it is outside?
Yeah.
Deuces.
Let's go ahead and get into the speculation portion. We've ran through the episode. I've only got one thing that I have on my mind that I just real quick want to talk about, and then I'll open it up to you guys if you have anything else that you are possibly thinking about. We know that, again, he's heading to Trask, and we're basing that off of the husband of Lady Frog is wanting Lady Frog to get there because that's the place that's inhabitable for their species.
So does
But
that
as
mean
well-
his name is going to be Sir Frog?
I hope, man. That'd be cool. But I've lost my track here.
Sorry.
We know that Mandalorians are there, supposedly. That's why the Mandalorian even signed up to this mission. And if, in fact, Trask is the water planet that we thought was Mon Cala, could it be then that that hooded individual that we see in the trailer is, in fact, Sabine Wren? Because we know that she is Mandalorian. So that would line up with both that water planet ending up being Trask, as well as that individual, we know she is Mandalorian, so he would end up getting to other Mandalorians at that location. Thoughts on it? Is that a yes? No?
I'm not sure. I feel like it could throw us for a major loop.
Yeah.
I feel like it could be like an Imperial agent or just something that makes his... Like, I feel like it'll go right
Mm-hmm.
in the next episode until something happens and it goes wrong again,
True.
So that's like the whole show.
Yeah. Definitely. And then something happens along the way to save him, and we're off to another adventure.
So I don't know. I think that we will see a actual Mandalorian this time.
Yeah, I hope so, though.
But I don't think it could be Sabine.
Mm-hmm.
It would be cool for it to be Sabine.
Yeah.
Because wasn't she the last one to wield the Darksaber before
Bo-Katan
Bo-Katan was?
Yeah.
before Moff Gideon somehow now has it.
Okay.
But she did at one point wield the Darksaber.
So yeah, that would be. I mean, that's a cool thing. We might get some. She would probably be more knowledgeable on the Force and help.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think she's connected to Ahsoka, too. So there's your intro into her somehow getting into this.
But if
Yeah, she might be like, "Well, I've seen this before.
Yeah.
Let me phone a friend."
Yeah, right.
But if this is Sabine, we gotta get an answer as to why she's not wearing a helmet.
True. And again, I think that just goes back to possibly coverts having different rules,
Well,
different ways. This is the way. I
I
mean,
don't know.
I think after the Great Purge, they hid in shame,
yeah, I can see that.
kind of deal. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, okay, we can't show ourselves in public anymore, and if we do, like, mess up the covert, I don't think all them Mandalorians died. That the armor was melting their armor. I think they just took it off because
Okay.
nobody knows what they look like underneath,
Right. So now they're just looking like normal.
looking like normal people till they get to the next covert.
Okay.
Because they can't all leave at the same time, but they had to get out of there.
But then they would be lying if somebody asked them if they held fast to the way, and ask them, has
Who's-
anyone ever removed your helmet? Have you ever shown your face to anyone?
Maybe
Yeah.
they've come to that moment where they have to let that go. Maybe it's time that they're okay with revealing themselves, or they've been forced to.
But then wouldn't they not be Mandalorians anymore?
Well, and again, I hope that this show dives into what truly Mandalorian means.
Yeah.
Because right now I still feel like there's an argument to be had that this is just a covert, or this is this group of Mandalorians' rule, and not necessarily reflective of all Mandalorians. Because Mandalorians that we've seen in previous Star Wars film, TV,
Mhm.
have taken their helmets off.
Yeah.
But I do like the idea that it's after the
Hmm.
Great Purge now, and they're kind of ashamed, or it was just their way of kind of hiding themselves
know-
and doing their thing.
Boba Fett never did, though.
Took off his helmet
Yeah.
in film, correct, but I don't think we necessarily had the time to explore his character in those movies.
Yeah.
Well, what about in Jabba's palace? He's sitting there chilling out, but he keeps that helmet on.
True. True.
But he's at work though.
But in a group of people, I would, if I had Beskar's armor, I'd keep that on to look awesome anytime I'm in front of anyone.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
I would ever take mine off if
No.
I had some. Ever.
Yeah. BA, we've been speculating. Any thoughts on, like, your predictions? And I know you probably just enjoy sitting back and seeing what happens
Hearing you
next.
guys, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think we'll get to that. I guess it's Trask, or maybe they stop along the way at some planet. But I think we're going to get to the one that we saw in the trailer next episode.
Right, because we do see the Razor Crest, it looks like, coming to a, like, abrupt, really fast landing at the water planet,
Mm-hmm.
I believe. So that would kind of line up maybe the landing gear while this Razor Crest is in horrible
Yeah.
condition is out.
So I think opening
dropping like a meteor.
Right.
I think opening sequence, yeah, we're flying into the atmosphere,
Yeah.
and then we have a crash landing.
I think opening
my
sequence
gosh.
will have that opening shot that's in the first trailer where it's hovering over those two planets. And I think that the second one is the moon of
Yeah.
Trask.
Is the Razor Crest gonna survive?
Yes.
I'm going to say it is, but I was trying to think of trailer shots that we've seen past these first two chapters. They've really almost shown everything already from the trailers, except the water planet.
Yeah.
I think it has to because it's pre-Empire.
But
Right.
they haven't shown Navarro, and they haven't shown where
Oh, right. I forgot
the
about that.
Imperial stuff is.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That's a good point. And again, no Moff Gideon.
Mhm.
I think Moff Gideon's coming in the back half of the
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
I think that's when we get our Empire info and action. Now, I will say, just real quickly, back to the Razor Crest thing. I think it would be just getting outside of the story. I think it'd be a mistake to get rid of the Razor Crest only because marketing stuff. Like, it's Star Wars' opportunity to have a new Falcon.
Right.
And I know Falcon will never be beaten. That's not what I'm saying at all. But for kids that are growing up with the Mandalorian right now, like, they have an opportunity for the Razor Crest to be that next ship. So I think it'd be too early in the game to kind of get rid of that.
I think when he goes back to confront Boba Fett, he'll just drop it off to Pelimoto and let her fix it up.
Oh.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
In the real world, though, it would vaporize.
Yes.
Doing that.
Yes, no doubt, no doubt. Well, guys, any other final closing thoughts on Chapter 10, the passenger or Boba Fett stuff that we talked about at the beginning, or anything you just kind of want to say to those listening before we get out of here?
I mean, I think it's going to be real interesting. We got a lot of character relationship building, I think, this episode, and that's, I think, what we need to focus on the most as far as moving forward, because the child and Dean are fixing to start talking to each other.
That'd be cool. I can't wait.
Within the next predicting
Here we
within
go.
the next 3 episodes,
Ooh.
Baby Yoda will say his first word.
Ooh.
That'd be awesome.
I think it'd be I'm okay with that. I think it'll be last episode though. Maybe before the season's over, but not in the middle of the season.
No, I think he'll say his first word within the next 3, and I think the last episode he'll call Din Dad.
You don't think that'll be his first word?
Father. I think that might be his first word.
Vader.
Dad or father or I don't know. Din. I don't know.
Mando.
It'll be in reference to him, I think. That would be cool. That'd be cool. Jacob, final thoughts on the episode or anything you kind of want to say before we get out of here?
Mando.
I mean, looking forward to the next one.
100% agree.
Yep.
100% agree. BA?
I'm looking forward to Frog Lady getting mad that the child ate so many of her kids.
Dude, yeah,
Once
she's
she
never going to figure out about
Once
that.
she starts counting, she's going to be mad.
Yeah, she knows. She knows because at the end, she's like,
Hugging it.
no, these are mine. And he's like,
Yeah.
gone.
That's a good point. And I can't wait to see Sir Frog and Lady Frog
He's going to have a little, like, crown.
reunite with one of
It's gonna
those
be like in Shrek.
just long frog licks, peck on the cheek, I don't know. Reuniting with the love of their life. Let's talk about, okay. We're hopping out of here like Lady Frog. Thank you for listening to Mando Talk this week. We really appreciate the support. We really appreciate the love. Anytime that you want to communicate with any fellow Star Wars fans, get to us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Mando Talk on all 3 of those platforms. Again, thank you, Jacob and BA, for always coming here. And again, you're no longer guests, you're co-hosts in all reality. So
Right.
we appreciate you guys being here, giving in your insight as well. Thank you again for listening. Nolan, go ahead and take us out of here.
And guys, if you haven't already, go ahead and give us those likes and shares. That helps us out tremendously. So we have spoken.